Hello everyone. This is the game 10 of the match between Mikhail Chigorin and Wilhelm Steinitz that was played in Havanna in 1889. So Steinitz was up point, it was 5-4, and Chigorin wanted to bounce back, but it was hard with the black pieces. Let's see what happened. So Steinitz started with knight f3, d5, d4, just very standard stuff. Bishop g4 again. Chigorin sticks with his principles, and after c4, knight c6 was played. This is the standard Chigorin variation of the Queen's Gambit declined. e3 from Steinitz, and now e5. A slightly risky move, but of course the main line. Now queen b3, correct move from Steinitz, and now bishop takes f3. This is all book moves. G takes f3, and now here comes a shocker. I think that this move, e takes d4, is completely unsound, at least theoretically, but practically actually it's a great idea. And now interesting thing is, can he keep up with this sound play? Now c takes d5, correct way for Steinitz to play on. Now knight e5, and e takes d4. So Chigorin has given up 2 pawns. He can't capture on f3. This looks dead, right? Not really, because after knight d7, actually, Chigorin has given up 2 pawns, but white's 4 pawns are terrible. And Chigorin now wants to get his pieces out quickly and attack these pawns, because of course all 4 of these pawns are very weak, and then if Chigorin succeeds in taking them, then of course he will be 2 pawns up. So knight c3 was played, and now queen e7 check. I think this is just very dubious, blocking your bishop, but I think that Chigorin understood something that later Lasker understood as well, and I'll show you exactly what. For example, now of course best move is bishop d6, just developing. But here I think that after bishop e3, queen b4, so Chigorin wants to exchange queens because he sees that Steinitz plays this queenless middle games very badly, and this is something that Lasker would exploit in his match with Steinitz later. Steinitz here has a chance to save his queen, so he does it. But against Lasker he wouldn't be given such chances. So knight g2 f6, developing. Bishop b5 from Steinitz, and now I think this is the move that lost the game for Chigorin, and he does this type of thing twice, which I think is very it's very hard to assess what his idea was, because you have given up 2 pawns, so why should you be playing solidly? He played rook d8 because he didn't want to castle. He could do he could castle and in one move place the rook on d8 and also king to a more safe square. But of course he was worried that rook a to c1 would come and his king would be under attack. But I think when you have given up 2 pawns, you shouldn't be playing solidly. You should be playing actively and attacking, and not letting your opponent attack you. You should be taking risks, because you already took risks by giving up 2 pawns. So if you don't take any more risks, then you will just simply end up in a worse endgame. So, he could castle, for example, Steinitz, after this move, and after a6, bishop goes back, and knight b6. This position, I think that rook a c8, black is under pressure, true, but black can also start regaining those pawns in the middle of the board. It's really not. It's risky for black, but it's also risky to give up 2 pawns. So yeah, I think this was the way to go for Chigorin. Chigorin instead played rook d8, and now Steinitz castled, a6, kicking the bishop back, and now bishop e7. So Steinitz, Chigorin wants to castle kingside, but then after rook h1 he realizes, oh no, I'm gonna get attacked here, so he doesn't castle at all. So this is the thing that I was mentioning. So he refused to castle twice, and because he would get in a risky position. But when you're 2 pawns down, you're already risking a lot, so why have your king in the center as well? So from here on, I think Steinitz plays beautifully and easily wins the game, which should be easily winning. So b5, bishop goes back, knight b6, now rook g2 e1, because there's nothing to do on g-file anymore, king d7, bishop f4, just improving the bishop's position for the moment, and also putting pressure on c7. Now rook c8. Now you see the king is in the center, so something has gone wrong. I think king would have been safer if it was castled queenside earlier on. Yes, it would be under attack, but it wouldn't be roaming around in the middle. a3, queen a5, bishop g5, knight g8. Undeveloping. Chigorin gave up pieces to have to gave up pawns to have active pieces, but now he doesn't even have that. So here we see some brilliant combinations soon. So after knight e4, rook b8, so knight f6 check, because the rook was moved to give king some breathing room there. So, and now rook takes e7. Just Steinitz finishes this game off with a brilliant combination. After king takes e7, queen takes e7, knight d7, and queen takes a5, and here Chigorin resigned because having lost the queen, there is nothing he could do. Steinitz got a 2-point lead, but this did not break Chigorin's spirit though, and he fought hard in the next game. I think yeah, again, let's move back here with bishop b5. I think he should have just castled, and of course white has slight advantage, considering he's 2 pawns up, but black has fantastic compensation here. He will recapture all those pawns, he will recapture at least 2 pawns, and then the other of the 2 pawns will be very weak. So again, of course white has advantage because he has a lot of pawns, but I think that in a practical play, Chigorin had a good chance of, getting a fine position here. But instead, he meekly played rook d8, and then again, what happened was that after bishop e7, rook hg1, he again didn't castle and meekly played g6. So I think this is what got him into trouble this game. That okay, you already have given up 2 pawns, so why not just castle, have your king safe, and hope for the best. Having your king in the center is not better at all. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to criticize these players, but I think that. Chigorin had brilliant ideas, but sometimes he couldn't put them in practice well enough. I think his match in 1892 against Steinitz showed off his skills much more than this one. So this is the final position. After queen takes a5 and being queen down, Chigorin resigned. Thank you.